All that's in the water is 5 wagons filled with the grain. So we managed to haul out the grain, and we made a makeshift platform, and we put all the grain on the platform, and hopefully it'll dry out. Fortunately, the next few days there was sun out, and they dried out. Now, I have no more money. It's either this grain or no grain. Now, not that I want to poison customers. So I figured we'll put it through a test. What we will do with the grain after they've ground it up is we're going to make several loaves of bread. I and my wife and our 3 children will be the guinea pigs. We're going to eat that bread. If we survive and we don't get sick and feel that it tastes like decent bread, then I'd feel in my conscience that we could sell it to customers. But I pointed out to everyone there, be quiet about this. If this word gets around that our grain has been in the river, I'm out of business and you're out of a job. So just hush for the time being. Well, so we make the loaves of bread and we eat it. I never tasted something so delicious on my born day, said my father. I wasn't there yet. So now we're going to make it for customers. That first day that the bakery opened, we had the big sign up, free bread, taste it. So people, what the heck, a free bread, I'll taste it. They came and they tasted. I never tasted anything so good in my life. Every customer insisted I got to have 5 loaves of it. Within a couple of days, everyone in Minsk was coming to my bakery, couldn't make bread fast enough. And so my bakery was a success. Not only that, the rumor spread around town that this baker has got a secret formula that turns bread into pastry. You never tasted anything like it. I don't know, maybe they got drunk on it. Who knows? In any case, the bakery's reputation was made from there on in.
Wow.
So now we have a bakery.
In the lake water.
And mind you, we followed the same process. So quietly,
Ah.
every bag got soaked and then put out to dry. Whatever was in it, that Volga River water, must be terrific. So the bakery was made. So now I'm going to tell you about a Sabbath in our home in Minsk.
Yes.
Sabbath preparations took 2 days. On Thursday, my mama went through the checklist. Quality meat, quality chicken, quality fish. There had to be the best rye bread, the best rye, the best wheat.
Well, that you had.
Of course, she had to make, but we had to get it to the house because she's making special dishes.
Yes.
Not just stuff from the bakery.
Yes.
So she's going to make all this stuff, and she's got to have her checklist on Thursday. Friday morning, we're about to begin. Mama gets up early in the morning, and she's humming away in an excited fashion as she's preparing the pancakes and these white breads called bulkis and compote and a whole host of other dishes. And Friday, she and the girls are going to clean the house like you could eat off the floor. And Saturday, we're going to put on our best finery because it's Shabbos. Well, one day I asked my mother, you see, I was a little small at the time. I says, Mama, what do we go through all of this? She says to me, look, because we're preparing to greet a queen, the Sabbath queen. Says, what kind of queen? I never seen a queen. Oh, Shabbos, Sabbath is a queen. Would you want a queen to come into a dirty house? Would you want a queen not to have the finest food served her? A queen must look just so, perfect. And we have to look perfect as her subjects. And what happens if we didn't do that? Oh, if we didn't do that, the angel Gabriel goes over every Jewish household on Fridays. And if the people are quarrelsome and lazy and they don't prepare the house for the Sabbath, the angel weeps bitter tears. And the people in that household will not enjoy the wonderful Holy Sabbath. So we must prepare for a queen. Well, I'm glad that we have the Sabbath, I says to Mama. But doesn't God give anything to the Gentiles? Of course, God gives something to everyone. Now listen, you've got to hurry and get ready. Mama, the taste smells so good in here. I'm hungry. My stomach is growling. All right, one bulka. And then wash up, and you got to go about your activities. All right. So the house is made scrupulously clean. And after services on Friday evening, Papa comes home, and my older brothers come home from the synagogue, and we always have guests. You see, there was an army camp not far from our house, and there were Jewish boys far from their homes. And the Sabbath is not celebrated in the Russian army camp. So they come to services, and all of them are invited for Friday evening dinner. You see, my father's bakery is doing pretty well. We could afford to pay for company. And so they're all there and enjoying Friday night dinner after we have the Kiddush and the Chali cut and so forth. Well, one thing more on Friday that I almost left out. Mama tells me, you and your brothers go down to the bakery. We need a lot of chalis for all of this crowd, and some of your father's finest cakes, scrumptious delicacies, for us and for all our guests. Now, when we come to the bakery, Papa tells us, listen, I want you to cut up 2 dozen chalis, thick slices. So I asked him, Papa, I don't understand it. Aren't you supposed to take the chali home and cut it to the Sabbath? He says, that's not for sale. Every poor person can walk into my bakery and he gets a thick slice of chali and a kopek. But what if they're not really poor? Henry, I'm surprised at you thinking something like that. He took people at their word. Said they were poor, they got chali and a kopek. No discussion. In any case, that was Friday night. Come Saturday morning, even I go to the synagogue with Papa. Well, Friday night, something else puzzling happened. Occasionally, little boys have to go to the bathroom. Well, of course, we have an outhouse in those days. So I'm going to the back door to get to the outhouse. Who should be in front of the back door? Papa. Puts his finger in front of his mouth to silence me. And we hear some noises coming from the kitchen. Well, after a while, the noises stop, and I get to go to the outhouse and then go back to bed. Didn't think that much of it, but whatever. Now comes Saturday. You know, as we were coming home from services, I was very puzzled. I thought that was Mama carrying 2 baskets and coming back in the house. But that's strange. Why would Mommy be out of the house? Well, I didn't think much of it. So we have our midday meal. But before we had our midday meal, when we came in, Mommy was crying. So Papa asked her, why are you crying? And I asked her, why are you crying, Mama? Sure. She says, I was thinking of Khan. Who's Khan, I asked. Khan was one of the Jewish soldiers at the camp. He was conscripted into the army, lived in Warsaw. And he had 2 loves, his family and our home. He used to come to us on Friday night with all the other Jewish soldiers. And he had the most marvelous voice. And we all sang songs together. And the neighbors, when they heard Khan, they would come over to the window and tap it and say, well done, Khan. He was such a beautiful person and sang so beautifully. And I learned from one of the other soldiers that he was just recently killed in some little border skirmish with some Turks. But Mama, I'm here. I won't go off to war. And she hugged me dearly at the thought of Khan. In any case, after we had our midday meal and we enjoyed the Sabbath, but after we had our midday meal, everyone gathered in the parlor. See, we were wealthy enough to have a parlor. My daddy has done well. And so us children all gathered around, and I says to Mama, Mama, tell us the story of that river again. Mind you, we probably heard it 100 times. She says, okay. It was the river Sambatan. It is located in the mountains, far, far, far from here. So far that it takes 6 days in a wagon to get there. That's why no one goes there. And all week long, the water tumbles down the mountain like an angry fire with stones flying in the air. But on Shabbos, it calms down, and the waters are smooth, and there's no fire, and there's no anger, because it's Shabbos. So I says to my mother, so why do we go there and see it? Look, it takes 6 days to get there. It would be Friday night. Would you miss a Sabbath here at home? I guess not.
So you never saw it?
So never saw the river Sambatan. In any case, Saturday night, as usual, I got a need to go to the outhouse.